Okay, hi third grade, good morning. It's Thursday. This is your video for the week. Sorry it took me so long to get it posted. I got confused what day it was. Quarantine every day is kind of the same. So I want to go over quickly some multiplication division, looking at it in a new way. I want to talk to you about word problems, and I want to quickly review some of our kind of tricks we will use to figure out multiplication if we don't have our facts memorized. So I showed you this yesterday on the video, on the live call, which by the way, my own homeroom class, I think there are only 6 of you, maybe 8. Listen, last week is probably going to be one of our last meets together because we're running out of time. So you guys need to get on these calls. All right, so if I have 4 times 3, can you see that, Benny, or not?
Oh, only barely.
All right, is that any better?
No.
Okay, hold on. You can also put it, that's better, in a triangle. This is what some of your pages are going to look like next week, where all this means is the total is here on the top, and your 2 factors go into these bottom corners. So if you found a triangle on your page that looked like this, and had the top and only one number on the bottom, you would know that you need to count by 3s to get to that 12. Well, what times 3 gives you that 12? Because these are the factors down here. So 3 times 4 goes here. Let's try a different one without using the multiplication equation on top. You can just leave it on the board when I'm talking.
Okay.
Let's try our yellow chalk. I was so excited because I found all this glorious chalk. Show them the box, Benny. It must have been Sarah that had all this chalk. Okay, but it's not working that well on my easel. Okay, so if you had a, doesn't work at all. If you had a box, or a triangle that looked like this, and you had a 20 here and a 4 here, I wonder what would be in that other corner. How many times do you count by 4 to get to 20? And by the way, you can reverse your double with a 4, and you can take half and half of this to figure out the answer. So half of 20 is 10, half of 10 is 5, that's your other number. Okay, so that's going to be on a couple of your pages coming up. Now, you're also going to be responsible for having multiplication and division word problems. So the multiplication is easier for you because I remember doing a lot of that in class together. We would, be making up word problems, you would be, I would be. We did some division. I know the division is going to be a little bit harder for you, but let me give you 2 examples, and you can come back to this video and revisit it, or you can take notes on this. So when you have to do that next week, you'll be able to have some examples to pull from. Okay, so if I had to do a multiplication equation, I like to always talk about treat bags. So I had 4 treat bags with 5 toys in each bag. Now, a word problem is going to have a question at the end of it. So what's my question? What day is Tuesday? No? Do you like vanilla or chocolate ice cream? No? Your question is, how many toys are there, or how many toys do I need to buy? I'll just put it that way. Gonna make it a little bit more interesting. Or just how many toys are there is fine. Now, using those same numbers, the 4, the 5, and your answer would be 20. To make a division word problem, you start, this is the trick to it, to a division word problem. You start with the biggest number. You start with the answer you had if it were multiplication. Just like the subtraction, the Blue Jays are screaming. Just like the subtraction and addition, with subtraction you're starting with a big number. Okay, so I had 20 toys. I wanted to put 5 toys in each gift bag. So what's the question here? Can you think of what the question is? Do I buy Spider-Man or Superman toys? No. Was the party fun? No. Can my cat come to the party? No. So go back to this and look at this again and think what the question is. I had 20 toys. I wanted, to put 5 toys in each gift bag. So what's my question? How many bags could I make? Now, that's supposed to be many. You could also use these numbers with different words, different stories, whatever you want to do. Another one that's fun to do, if you, oh, by the way, questions have a question mark at the end. You could also do things like cupcakes and M&Ms. I had 35 M&Ms. I wanted to put exactly 5 M&Ms on each cupcake. How many cupcakes could I decorate? That's another example. If you want to make it, you're a little close to me, right? That's Benny taping me. If you're into sports, you could do something with sports. If you're into whatever. Now again, some of you last time when we were doing this in class would write like, I had 3 kitties, my friend had 5. That's not repeated addition. That's addition. That's 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. Am I getting too wordy?
No.
Okay, so be careful with that. If you want to use kittens or dogs, you have to figure out a way where you have equal groups of something.
Each kitten gives birth to 3 cats.
Yeah, each cat gives birth to 3 kittens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or each cat had a collar with 5 diamonds. Something, I don't know, but you can't have different amounts. It has to be repeated groups for addition and repeated groups for subtraction for the division. All right, I know I'm talking fast, but it takes forever to upload these videos, and I don't want to overwhelm you and to make this last forever. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about for now is how many minutes am I at?
6.5.
Okay, I'll try to hurry. So you're also going to be doing some number corner pages next week with our like a page that's about multiplying with 4s and a page that, different things. So let's quickly revisit. If you're multiplying by 1, it's going to be, so 1 times 5, it's going to be that number equals that number. Our trick, and when I say trick, I don't mean like it's a magic trick. It's a math trick we use based on math, that it's like a shortcut kind of. When I say trick, it's not like, you're like, what's the magic trick? Okay, so if it's 2s, let's say 2 times 7. If it's 2s, it's just like having 2 groups of 7. So you just double the other number. Now, if there are any grown-ups watching right now, some of you get bothered by the fact that they are not required to memorize these facts anymore. And if you want to do flashcards or whatever this summer, that's totally fine. But I love the fact that the kids actually have to think about the numbers. It's not just like they're spitting out an answer. It only takes a couple extra seconds of thought process to do these kind of mental math strategies to figure out a problem. Okay, now let's go to 3s. 3s are a little trickier. And I don't think we talked about 3s and put it on our wall in school. I don't remember. If you have 3s, so 3 times 7, I always circle the other number so remember what we're working with. It's like having 2 groups of 7 because you can double that easily. You can double 7. So double the other number, and then, so here's 7, here's 2 groups of 7. Then what do you have to add? This is 14, and we have to add 1 more group of 7. So if you're going to do 3 times, I don't know, what do you want to do? 3 times
8.
Well, I would do double for that though.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
So 3 times 8, you double the 8, which is 16, and you add another 8 to it, which takes a second, but you can do it. Okay, 4s are one of my favorites because so 4 times 7, okay? You circle the other number because we're going to use our 4 trick with this, and you take this other guy and you double it. You double. So if 2 groups of 7 are 14, that's only 2 groups, we need 4. So you just double the 14, which would be another 2 groups of 7. So 14 plus 14 is 28. That's how you can do that. 5s, you can count by 5s. 5s, you can also do 5 times 8. I like, 5 times 8. Sorry. I like to a lot of you also like to just go 5, 10, 15. You just count 8 fingers and you count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. The other thing you can do, if you want to think of it this way, is think of it as 10 times 8, which would be 80, and take half of it, because 5 is half of 10. So 5 times 8 would be half of 10 times 8, which is 80, which would be 40. Now guys, if I'm talking too fast, which I know is a problem I have, especially when I'm trying not to have a super long video for you to watch and for me to have this poor phone download, you can always stop the video if I'm going too fast and try an example of your own. Because we're not in class together, I can't just stop and wait and see where everybody is. So I'm just running straight ahead here, kids. And so 6 times 7. Okay, 6s are a little bit harder. There's not a fantastic trick for 6s, other than say to yourself, 5 times 7, because you know that's a lot easier for you to do than 6 times 7. So 5 times 7, you can count up by 5 7 times, is 35, but you need one more group of what? 7. So it's 35 plus 7. Figure that out, which would be your 42. Okay, I know I'm going fast. Let's skip ahead to 8s. I also love 8s. I love them. So 8 times, let's do 4, well.
6.
Okay, yeah, 8 times 6, thanks. So 8 times 6 would be like 2 groups of 6, another 2 groups of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another 2 groups of 6, sorry. So you're taking that 6, the other number, and you double it. All you have to do. So you double the 6, it's 12. Double the 12, it's 24. Double the 24, it's 48, and that's your answer to 8 times 6. Now here's the cool thing. I'm about to lose some of you. If you ever see 48 divided by 8, guess what you can do? The opposite. You can undo it. Okay, you can half. So half of 48 would be 24, half of 24 would be 12, half of 12 would be 6. Okay, 9s are the last one I'm quitting. 7s or 5s, and then you add 2 more. But the 9s, so 9 times anything. I always call it 10 times that number because you know how easy it is to multiply by 10s. But it's not 10 groups of 6, it's 9. So you have to subtract 9. Now that takes a little bit of mental power, but you can figure it out. I'm going to stop talking. How many minutes are we at? I'm sorry, kids.
12, but
man.
that's, wait, Mom, that's 51.
Oh, what did I do wrong?
I don't know exactly, but it should be 54.
Yeah, because I didn't finish it. 9 times
16
what?
minus 9 is
Oh,
51.
I took a 9 away. I took 9 away. Okay. So thank you so much for fixing me. Okay. So 10 times 6 is 60. Not minus 9, minus 6, Mrs. Kudrick. I was trying to hurry. And that's 54. Thank you, Benjamin. Mr. Kudrick, last week when I was doing area perimeter on the driveway,
Is he the cat?
Taping me? No. When he was taping me, I made a mistake because I get, you've met me, I make mistakes. And he did not say a word to me, and so all that time later, I'm like, done with my video, I'm going to download it. And he's like, I think that maybe you made a mistake. I'm like, ah! So then I had to involve my 16-year-old son trying to figure out how to edit and splice that video. But I hope you're well. Man, I miss you. I miss you. Run and play when you can, and get your work done. And you come to our Google Meet next week, people, when you can. I know some of you had an excuse and you told me, and that's fine. The rest of you, we're MIA. I don't know what happened to you. And I miss you. I want to see your faces. All right, I'll talk to you.